And we have some guests in the house here to talk to us on basketball development in Africa. And of course, we have baseball in Africa, sorry. We have Jacob Dennis Albert Dede, who is the proprietor of the Dewills Baseball Travel Academy. It's nice to have you with us.
Thank you for having me. And
we also have the coach here, that's the person of Twaki Sunday. It's nice to have you with us also.
Thank you, you're welcome.
Okay, so the Dewills Baseball Travel Academy, what are they about? What we know there is a baseball academy, but can you tell us a bit more about them?
Okay, the reason why we came together to form the Wheels, and if you go through the name, is D and the wheel, the will to do it, is that we don't like the way sports in general is being played around African soil. And we feel that the opportunities are not given to kids to grow, and we don't have a level playing ground for each of them. So what the Dewills tend to do now is to go around Africa to see the best, the kids that have potential, and expose them to the Western world and to the US to play the same level of game their mates will play. So that's a basic thing. We want to see that we give them a level playing ground for them to show their skills and potential.
Okay, so to the coach now, I know there are young kids that you're looking after. How well do you think the kids have done since you started coaching them?
Well, I think the kids have done well, and for us to be able to know that they've done well, that is why we decided to go on the tour, to go and check how far they've assimilated what we've been teaching them all this while. And I think the tour has been a successful one, and they really done well to really show that what we've taught them have really settled down in them.
Okay, so the team have been to Ghana and other 5 countries. What are the challenges so far that you faced, going around the country, taking the young players to these countries? What are the challenges you faced in Africa?
It's general. The first thing we noted, because we did a tour in Nigeria last year anyway. We did for seven states, went around Nigeria to play the state teams, and we decided to do a West African tour this time around. One of the things, like I mentioned, Africa is crazy. Traveling within West Africa is very difficult. I'll tell you, I live around the UK, so for me to leave from one country to the next, it's quite easy for me to leave with a Nigerian passport to a West African state. That's one challenge I think would face. If you're looking at support, I think most time when we talk about challenge, we talk about support. Nigerian sport has no support, as far as I'm concerned, even from government, from what I call the corporate bodies, because we've not really shown sports to be lucrative enough for people to come in to join. So one is different. So we have that challenge too. We have no backing. It's just a team that came up on themselves and said, okay, we need to do this. Okay. So I can tell you for sure that we don't have a naira behind us. So we went through these countries by ourselves, paying bills, paying hotel, doing food, and it's just about us. But the dream is that we have a will that in no distant time, Nigeria or West Africa should be an hub for baseball, like what the Caribbean is to America. That is the idea.
Hopefully very soon. To the coach, what are the challenges you think you faced with African accepting baseball in general? In accepting baseball in Africa?
Well, I think one of the biggest challenges, everybody wants to play football. You understand? And not knowing that there is also other opportunities in other sports that can make you to be known, to be famous, and also to have the money people crave for these days in sports. I think it's acceptance that is a challenge of baseball and softball. And also sometimes, football is just a round ball that you just kick, and it's not the equipments are also one of the challenges we have in trying to get people to accept baseball, because some persons who want to say, okay, the equipments are very expensive, you don't get them on the shores of the stores in Africa. So in most cases, equipment are always one of the challenges. But in this, in the present time, we have supports from, donors, countries around the world that support African nations to really get these equipment. So, but with this that we've started, and that is why our movement has really brought up a lot of awareness that we can do it. And baseball is lucrative, even more than football. in places where it is being played. So with this now, this awareness are really brought out people wanting to embrace baseball now in Africa, so that it can also get popularity like football.
Before I let you go, one last question, and this is to the coach now. Is there any role model? Because I know when you're coaching the athletes, you're telling them that, okay, these are big players they can look up to. Do you have any big Nigerian role model that you speak to them about and you expect them to, look up to, especially in Africa?
Yes, we do. We have a Gift in Gope that has played in in the US. Presently, he's playing in Australia. He is one of the role models in Africa who has gone out of the shores of Africa to play in the big leagues in the US. And we also have other role models here in Nigeria that have gone not to the US but have played in Germany. Some have also played in Italy. That these kids are also looking up to even be more than them. So I think those are the few role models we have around us.
Well, that's quite interesting to know, but I wish your academy the best, and hopefully you can get all the support necessary. Anyways, we still have with us here the proprietor of the Dewills Academy here in Nigeria, and also the coach Twaki Sunday. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome.